Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
What up, YouTube? I am experimenting on on Streamlabs, and it is not. I'm still figuring it out. I was trying to multi-stream from YouTube and to TikTok, and I still haven't figured it out. So that ain't happening tonight. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. I've been trying to get it to figure it out, or I'm trying to figure it out, but it'll happen on a later stream. Let's turn that to red. Yeah, there you go. It feels better. It feels a little bit more natural, like you know how we usually do it. Let's get the music going. I'm just like all over the place today. What up, Joe? How are you doing? How are you feeling? I love that you're rocking the Viking helmet badge. That is so cool. I'm so glad that that's working out. I can't wait for you guys to get to the boys. What up, Holden? How you doing? All right, well let's get to some business, and then we'll get to the show, right? So obviously, gotta talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. That is where me and Nate get our books. It's where I got my freaking kick-ass, Uncanny X-Force Rick Remender omnibus, right? So check it out. So stoked to read this, but anyway. Yeah, that's where I get my comic books. It's where I get all my fun stuff. It's where I get comic books, back issues, omnibus, trades, hardcovers, trading cards, action figures, models, manga, plushies, D&D stuff, statues, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're ever in the DFW area, go check out Collected Comics and Games. It's a great place to pick up some really cool stuff. Ron and Brent have done a great job of curating an amazing collection. They have 3 locations, one in Irving, one in Fort Worth, and one in Hearst. So please, I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, go check them out. If you don't have, or if you're not in the area, you can always go to their website, just staycollected.com. It's a great little website where you can get all those things and more and get store exclusives. It's amazing. Yeah, they even have cookbooks. It's freaking awesome. So please go make sure to check out staycollected.com, or if you're in the area, check out Collected today. It's an amazing comic book shop. We also are in the middle of a sub milestone giveaway. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, we are giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 9.8 CGC grade signed by Jim Chung. Yep, that's right. We're giving this away when we hit that magic number of 1,250 subscribers, and when we hit 2,000 subs. Plus, we have some other slabs that we're giving away in between this current sub goal giveaway and 2,000. But when we hit 2,000, giving away Thor, Donny Cates Thor issue #1, Nick Klein sketch variant signed by the great one Donny Cates. So you're gonna want to sub because we give away some cool stuff. A lot of our members know that. A lot of our viewers know that. So check it out if you're new here, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you're watching this live and/or as a recorded episode, previously recorded episode, make sure to hit that, smash that like button, because we would love the support there as well. As always, what's up, Joe and Holden? What up, Patty? How you doing, man? Hope you're well. Let me scoot over. I feel like I need to be over here. There you go. Great week this week. I thought a majority of the comics were really good. I will tell you, I did not read my DC book. I did not read Green Lantern. I just couldn't do it. Like, I looked at it and I was like, I just don't care. I don't care. So just to give you a heads up when we get to DC, I didn't read my one DC book. I just couldn't do it. But everything else I thought was great. There is one disappointment outside of DC, and I say that with a very heavy heart, and I'm sure you guys all know what that's going to be, but we'll get there when we get there. So anyway, what up, Six? Hey, everyone. Love watching the videos. Thank you, sir. I'm still working on my Omnibus collection. I'm still last volume of Captain America. Until I have Peter David's Maestro waiting to read next. Nice, dude. That sounds awesome. All right, well, let's get to it. First up, we have Napalm Lullaby, issue number 6. This was freaking fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was my pick of the week.
This chips.
It was my pick of the week. This was insane. I think this book is getting greater and crazier by the issue, and I had a freaking awesome time with it. I mean, we got more lore, we got a ton of action, and it got buck wild. It got really crazy. So our character here on the cover, the psychic, I think they're both psychic, but the sister basically fends off her, I guess, half sister, who's like a, makeshift superhero, put that in quotations, and they end up fighting, and I mean, shit gets brutal, dude. I mean, faces get blown off, necks get broken, and she like goes like full on berserker mode at the end of this issue, and it gets dark. I mean, you're seeing these like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you're seeing these like projections that she's making with her mind, like crazy cool. This issue was fantastic. I think Napalm Lullaby is turning into yeah, Joe, we'll get there. We'll get there. And there's a reason for it. It has everything to do with the book, but then it has everything not to do with the book, and we'll get there. It'll be a long rant. But as for Napalm Lullaby, it was so good. I mean, there were other books this week that I read that were really good and were very close to my pick of the week, but Napalm Lullaby, issue number 6, just did it for me. I thought it was so well done, masterful. The artwork was great. I think the writing is just getting better and better and better as the book continues, as the book moves forward and progresses. It's just getting better. I think it's getting clear as to what we're trying to accomplish with the book, which I think is the other gratifying thing about it. Is we've always said, like, when this book started, me and Nate both were like, we can't quite understand what we're doing. Like, there's not a clear cut and dry description of what's happening in the book outside of solicitations, but it feels like it's being written that way on purpose, so it's not a knock on it. You know what I mean? Whereas there are other books where you don't know what's going on, but it's very evident that the writer believes that you should, and it's not being done on purpose. And in this instance, it's felt like that as this book has progressed. And as we get an issue, it just kind of chips away, and we get more and more of the world. We get more and more of what we're trying to accomplish. And I don't know, man, like, this issue just did it for me. I desperately wanted it to be She-Hulk, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, we'll get there when we get there. But Napalm Lullaby, issue number 6 was my patois. Like, it was a masterpiece. I think, the thing that we have to remember with these books is when we pick a pick of the week, it has to make you say, oh shit, which there were plenty of moments where I was like, oh shit, like that happened a lot in this book. And the other thing that it did really well is when it ended, I wanted more. I was like, no, this read too fast. Like, I was just so enthralled with the story, so enthralled with the artwork and just the pacing of the book, that when it ended, I was just like, damn, man, like, I thought I had at least 4 or 5 more pages. So, like, that's why it's deserving of patois for me. And I know I don't need to, like, justify it, but that's why y'all are here, to hear me talk about it, right? So yeah, like, that's That's my episode 12. Is this an ongoing? I believe it is, or at least, or maybe it's a 12 issue. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. So I mean, it doesn't feel like it's ending anytime soon. I should probably check into that. But this was just a fantastic issue. Napalm Lullaby is just, it is gradually, continuously going up and up and up the ladder of potentially, I think, I'd say book of the year for 2023 into 2024. It's just been killing it, you know. Well, no, wait. When did this book come out? Hold on, we're gonna do a little bit of digging. Let's see, we're gonna go on over here. My pull list. I guess we could put it on the screen so we can see it. Let's go to Napalm Lullaby. Let's go to the series. So issue 1 came out in March. So yeah, I think this is pulling for book of the year, in my opinion. And for me, I'm sure if Nate was on right now, he'd be saying some kind of, you know, horror book that would be his pick of the week, and that's fine. I mean, that's his jam. But for me, this book has just done it for me for the year. I mean, do I say sensational She-Hulk? We'll get there. We'll get there, guys. But this one was just, I don't know, man. It just did it for me. It was great. All right, let's keep moving. Let's move on. Next up, we have Transformers issue number 11. Really enjoyed this issue. I think Daniel Warren Johnson, he's just in his element. He's just in his element when it comes to writing. He just knows these characters intimately. And it's very obvious. Like, it's, you know, you think this will read? Most definitely. I think it'll read even better than how I'm reading it in singles. I think, yeah, I think it's, what up, Jaden? Yeah, I think Napalm Lullaby will read even better in trade. 100%. I think it'll be a little dense, filled with a lot of, what's the word? I don't know. It might be a little dense. It might take some time to read. I don't think you could just like run through it. I think there are some issues that are kind of thick with just a lot of story and a lot of setup, but I think it'll read really well as a trade. But as for Transformers issue number 11, again, I think Daniel Warren Johnson is doing a great job of showing off how intimate he knows these characters, how intimate he knows the lore of Transformers, and then him just building off that and just building his own thing here. You know, I really loved his writing of Optimus's voice and how he just is continuously showing this internal conflict with Optimus, and how, you know, he's essentially falling in love with Earth and also wanting to be the leader that he is for the Autobots and to defeat and fight off the Decepticons. I really liked, as much as I'm like, you know, from a visual standpoint, Ultra Magnus has always looked kick-ass, right? I thought they did him quite dirty in the original animated movie. But he was never like, I don't know. I mean, we all know about the movie, right? We all know about the 86 movie when it came out and they killed off Optimus. And, you know, when they went back, like if you watch like the Toys That We Grew Up With show on Netflix, they had mentioned or said not in passing, that it was like quite literally, they were like, you know, the reason why we killed off Optimus was because we wanted to set up a new line of toys. We were just trying to sell more toys and get new toys out there, and like people were pissed. And, you know, when you get Ultra Magnus in the movie and you see him, you're like, oh, sick. We have another 18-wheeler potential leader here. And then he gets fucking offed and axed in the movie, and you're like, wait, whoa, like, and then it ends up being Hot Rod, which, you know, I have no problem with that either. I think Hot Rod's a badass character. But like, you know, I liked that Daniel Warren Johnson kind of did the same thing Ultra Magnus in this book, right? Like we're dealing with Ultra Magnus being like just totally destroyed in Cybertron, being reestablished, and then Optimus for some reason just feels like, yeah, we'll get him fixed and he'll just jump right back into action. And that's not the case, right? We get this massive buildup of him being backup for Optimus, and then the dude just like loses his shit. He has PTSD, right? And fucking bolts, right? And I don't blame him. You know, like he got jacked up, right? And so like when he showed up, I was like, yeah, Ultra Magnus, right? And then he's like, nah, I'm out. Like I can't do this. And I was like, oh damn. Like at first I was like, dude, Daniel Warren Johnson's doing him dirty. But I think it's a callback to previous content with Transformers. I thought it was great. After I was able to digest it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of like a callback. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, that's a kick-ass switcheroo in my opinion. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. Just as Transformers is heating up, next issue should be huge. Is Magnus under mind control or does he have PTSD? I think he has PTSD. I think he's jacked up, man. You can't just like put on a new set of armor and be like, hey, go fight. Like he's dealing with some shit. And I think I applaud Daniel Warren Johnson for doing that. I think it was really cool that he did that. Just because I think it placates to the original content, which is he got blasted by Galvatron in the movie, dude. Like he couldn't open the matrix of leadership and fucking got zapped. And so I think we're kind of seeing that in a much more dramatic and realistic, even though these are robots, kind of way. I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, I loved this issue. I thought it was super fun. Jorge Corona killing it on the artwork, man. Like if you didn't know, like if his name wasn't there, you'd think it was Daniel Warren Johnson on the art right now. So it's crazy. I don't see it being done dirty. Transformers are still being so what Magnus went through, it'd be natural for him to having PTSD. No, I think it is. I'm just saying more of a stylistic storytelling way of doing him dirty. And I say that because of what happened to him in the movie. It just reminds me of what happened in the movie, which is like you get this new character and he looks badass and then he ends up just getting toasted. And now it's kind of happening to him again, whereas like there's this precedent being set by the writer, and you're like, and it was a good bait and switch, right? Like you're like, oh, we've got backup, and he shows up and he's like, yeah, and then like he sees the battlefield and he's like, nah, I'm out. Like bye, I'm not doing this. And I think that's why I find that intriguing, to be honest. Like I don't like I guess I need to rephrase it. I don't think the character himself is doing something bad. I think it's just him. I think it's Daniel Warren Johnson kind of playing homage to what happens in the movie. Oh, is it? So what's so he's the last issue. So who's up next? Are we jumping back to Daniel Warren Johnson, or are we getting a completely new artist? Oh boy, here we go. Now we're gonna find out. Ruh-roh. I mean, Corona's been killing it. Let's see here. Oh, Jason Howard. Isn't that hold on. Hold up. I mean, he did Big Girls. That's not bad, dude. Like that's I mean, it's a little bit of a shift art style wise, but I'll be very interested to see. Oh, he's been also in Scarlet. What his Transformers look like. I'm actually kind of excited for that. I think there's definitely a set of artists that kind of play in the same playground. I'd say this is definitely a bigger jump art style wise than Corona to Daniel Warren Johnson, but I'm cool with that if Jason Howard's on the art. I think that's kind of nice. What up, Rick? Dan, what's up, fam? It's been far too long since I was able to catch y'all live. This is a sweet Optimus Prime cover. It is, dude. Transformers is great. It's a great book. I'm not really against. I mean, I think it may be a little bit. I don't know, man. Big Girls was good. The art style in Big Girls was great. I think that's got some legs, in my opinion. That's cool. All right, dope. All right, I didn't read it. Sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't read it. I just, yeah, definitely. I think Daniel Warren Johnson on Transformers, like, he is perfect. Like, he's just doing such a great job, and I think it's because he's so, like, connected to Transformers. I mean, he grew up with them as a kid, so like, why wouldn't you have him on the book? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think he's doing a great job. And I think he needs to just stay on it for a while, in my opinion, until he comes out with something on his own. You know what I mean? All right, back over to DC. Yeah, I didn't read it. I kind of skimmed through it, looked at it, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is what we're doing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's definitely some interest in this Morning Sorrow lantern that's showing up at the end. Maybe we're heading towards a Spectrum more sooner than we think after Absolute Power. So that's exciting, but like, again, just it's kind of a rinse and repeat tie-in theme, and I'm not that excited about it. Let me know, chat. Let me know if you guys are like, yeah, this is dope, because like, I am just not, like, outside of the main title of Absolute Power, I am not interested. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. And I'm sorry if I'm letting you down on that, but I just can't. I'm not in it. My heart's not in it, unfortunately. So, all right, let's move over to Marvel. We're going to kick it off with Immortal Thor, issue number 14. This is, you know, I'm still enjoying Immortal Thor, but I, you know, it's going to be one of these books, just kind of like Napalm, but with Ewing, it's a little bit more dense. It's even denser. Of like not knowing exactly what we're doing, and obviously that's the bit, right? That's the hook. So like, it's getting there are moments when I'm getting a little, I don't know, I don't think frustrated is the right word, but like, I'm ready to understand exactly where we're going. And outside of like the theatrics and the action and some of the storytelling, I still don't understand what we're doing. You know, like, I think it's because there are just so many concepts being thrown around with Thor right now that I can't, you know, I'm trying to like keep it where like I know what like Nate would say, and I'm sure Nate would be very like, no, this is great. It's classic Thor. This is exactly what I want. We're getting like the you know, the lore and the mythology with Thor, and I think that everything that's fine. I think I'm still dealing with not having Donny Cates on this book and him finishing his ideas, and like, to me, his run was so metal at the beginning. Like, it just was like, it felt right, and it's not fair, right? It's definitely not fair to hold it in that regard, because this is a different writer, different style, different ideas. But to me, like, I need a little bit more. I think the line between like purposely being mysterious like Napalm and then expecting your readers to just kind of like get it, I think is being kind of blurred in this run, in my opinion. It's nowhere near being like dropped, but like, I ended it going like, wait, but what are we doing? Like, that's the only thing that kind of held me back completely on this issue, was like, I still feel lost, and not in a good way. The action between Thor and Zeus, great. Thor being able to tell the lightning bolts that he shoots at him to turn or to dodge or to just not hit him, I thought was great. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was an okay, it was a fine issue. There's nothing wrong with it. Joe says, Daniel Johnson's got a new book coming out next month. The moon is following us. I vaguely remember that was coming out. Let's see. Where can we see like upcoming? Here you go. Upcoming comics. You can't see all of them. Some of the characters. Oh, this is all alphabetical, right? So we can find it. Fantastic Four, The Flash, Green Lantern. There it is. Yes, I do. I'm pretty positive that I definitely pre-ordered this. This is the same artist that did the Harley Quinn run that I really liked. I could see this artist, what is his name? Riley Ramos? Rosmo. I could see him. Ooh, this Ryan Stegman cover is sick as shit. I could see this artist jumping on Transformers as well. So yeah, I do remember that. I'm almost positive that I pre-ordered the book. If I didn't, I'm picking it up. Joe, Lord of Thor has been great. I recommend reading it twice to gather all the information, but the reason Loki is putting Thor through this is to get him prepared for the Utgard Thor. Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're right. I should just reread it. I guess it's me being lazy or unrealistic. But when books don't click, when they just don't click, I'm like, I don't know. It just does something where I'm like, there's something's missing in my opinion. I don't know. But I will say that this current arc that we're doing with Hercules and Zeus and Nyx, is better than the one where we were doing the New Gods or whatever that was. I don't even remember the Gods arc. Like I hated that when they were in the box. I couldn't do that one. So all right, let's talk about it. The Sensational She-Hulk issue number 10, the final issue of Rainbow Rowell's run. Overall, I think Rainbow did a sensational job of writing this character. I think she's a master at telling this story. I think she's a master at telling a lot of her stories. I mean, she's a fucking writer. I mean, she's amazing. And I felt her disappointment in this issue. I'm not saying she's not proud of her work. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm not putting words in her mouth, but you could definitely feel her go like, okay, I guess, for whatever reason, and we'll never know why it ended. We won't know if it was because she was just done. I don't believe that for a second. Or if Marvel was just like, we're done. Like, this is, it's not doing the numbers we need it to do, so we're out. Or what, or if there's just there's a new direction for She-Hulk. I don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know unless she decides to say it out one day. And I'm sure if she did that, that means that she's done working for Marvel for a good amount of time. So I think she's gonna not say anything. But I felt reading this, I was waiting. I was looking for closure and or an opening for her. In her next run, which I don't think we're going to get for a very long time. And we just didn't get it. No real closure with Jack, so I'm sure that whenever she's in Assemble or in any other book or gets her another book again, it's going to be up to the next writer to acknowledge or not acknowledge that relationship. The call to the Avengers, obviously she's going to be in Assemble, so she's going to be on an Avengers team, not the main Avengers team. So that's pretty obvious where that's going. I don't know, man. Like I obviously read every fucking page of it. I think I read it twice. And the ending to me just felt very like, yeah, that's it. you know. And again, we'll never know why why it ended. I don't feel like Rainbow got to finish the story that she wanted to tell. And I would absolutely love to have her on the show and talk to her about it and ask her, you know, within reason, ask her why it didn't end the way she wanted it to, or the way, you know, I don't know. What up, Mario? Thank you for subscribing. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. That's the thing is like, I don't want to put words in her mouth. I don't want to speculate why she ended her run, but it's very obvious that it ended without like really ending. Like it just like there were all these like plot devices and storylines that just kind of got left out in the open. And obviously that's going to be, you know, we're going to be doing that for the next writer or for wherever the character is going to go. I'm going to try something here. I got the ultra wide lens on. Let's see if that changes it. Does that look any different? Oh, wow, it does. That's insane. Like I look farther away when let's go put it back on. Okay, ready? That's crazy. Anyway, back into my rant here. I think Rainbow's run overall for me is a 9.8, a 9.9, and the deduction of the point is just the ending. And I put that more on Marvel than I put it on Rainbow. I don't put it on Rainbow whatsoever. I think she did an amazing job of trying to lay the character out for anyone else to pick up and continue to write. But this ending, this abrupt ending, feels incredibly forced, and I think it's entirely on Marvel. Will we ever find out really why it's ending? I don't believe so. Because as a writer, she probably needs to not burn her bridges so she can continue to write books for Marvel if she ever wants to again, or if they ever want her to again. I know she's getting ready to write, you know, some Lois Lane stories over at DC, and I'm definitely going to read those. She is a writer that I will now be following. Like, I mean, she could write basically anything or anyone, and I'm probably going to read it. She's just, the way she writes and character develops and just really makes you feel invested into a character in such a very small amount of time, I think is incredibly effective. And I don't know, man. Like, I think she did an absolutely amazing job with this character and the side characters and the relationships and the slice of life of it, the action of it, the whole, like, this is a masterclass in how to write a superhero comic, in my opinion. Sorry, like, she's great. She did an amazing job. So anyway, Joe said, I hope after She-Hulk's done with the Avengers Assemble that she will have a new book. I think Eric Stoltz, I don't know if I'm saying right, currently writing Daredevil Woman Without Fear would be perfect. Would have perfectly be a perfect character for him to write. I mean, I'm liking that run too. I think this run had everything going for it. It had amazing artists on it. I think Rainbow's pacing on the story was great. I just think the ending sucked. And I don't think it sucked. It didn't suck because of Rainbow. I'll say that. She literally did what she had to do and was told to do. And, you know, I just don't, it's incredibly evident because, like, everything's left open-ended, right? So it's like her going, okay, whoever's going to take the mantle, whoever's going to take the baton next, here's what you have to play with, right? So, you know, I want more of her and Jack together. I want to see her on the Avengers and trying to figure out how to balance the two, balance her career, balance her relationship with Jack, and be on the Avengers. Like, we got a little bit of it, right, in this issue, and I'm like, okay, like, that's a great start, but this is the end, so this is it. Like, that's what we get, right? And her obviously picking her friends and her relationships over the Avengers, I think fits very well. I'm sad to see it go. I'm gonna miss Rainbow being in my pool. I'm gonna miss She-Hulk being in my pool. Obviously, I'm checking out Assemble, but, like, she's gonna be a side character at best. So, anyway. I have to assume that, Spencer. Yeah, sales low. I have to assume that. Put it on unlimited. Give me an unlimited comic then. I don't give a shit. Like, I thought it was good. So, anyway, it is what it is. Joe, Al Ewing on She-Hulk would be amazing. I bet it would be. What up, Stefan? What up, Jim? Hope you're enjoying your X-Force Omni. Haven't even cracked it yet. I took the plastic off. That's about it. I don't like this song. All right. But yeah, I could go on. Like, we could literally talk about this for another hour, and I would just keep on going. But anyway, I was just a little. I was not a little. I was disappointed in the ending because it was so open-ended and nothing outside of her picking her personal life, which I think is great. I think there were just there. It felt unfinished. It is unfinished. It's unfinished, and I don't think that's Rainbow's fault. I think it's Marvel's fault. Marvel apparently can't justify it because of its sales, and I think that's bullshit. Okay. Spencer, fair enough. I was sad to see it stop. I'm right there with you, Spencer. I'm right there with you. How long did it take for She-Hulk to get a book before this run? So let's see. Let's just see what the last. So, She-Hulk comic book runs. I think the last one wasn't it Dan Slott, right? Like, wasn't that the last run before this? So the run before this. Volume 1, 3, so was 2017. I'm not getting this here. I need a better. So the last book before that was in 2017 with 11 issues, and that's when she was grayed out and pissed off about after Civil War. Was it 1 or 2 where Banner got killed and she was dealing with the grief, and or was that when she got killed by Thanos? I don't remember. I maybe that was the same thing, but that was the most. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 5 years. I mean, she was in Avengers, right? But like, I don't know, man. I think it's a mistake. I'm sure, they're canceling it because of sales, or maybe they're doing something different with the character. But I just, this is an incredibly underrated run, and I think they're making a huge mistake not having her in the run. I bet we do, Joe. I bet we wait pretty long. Once you dive in, you won't be able to stop. The run goes so hard. Oh, on Omnibus, Jason Aaron one shot during his Avengers run, and her role in his Avengers. Yeah, it's like that's where she was outside of the 2017 run. So, cross your fingers. Maybe we're gonna get something within the year, maybe a year or two from now. But I just don't. I don't know. I'm disappointed, unfortunately. Let's move on. I've been on it too long, but this would have been. You guys know this would have been my pick of the week, but it just didn't. I got to be true to it. It just wasn't. It wasn't there. All right, the Ultimates issue number 3. Obviously, another new take on the Hulks. I really liked it. I think the Ultimates is super fun. So Stephen says, I wanted 50 issues of She-Hulk. I'm with you guys. She-Hulk was awesome, right? Like, we could have gotten an amazing. We're looking at a 25 issue, very thin hardcover release or omnibus with that last run. So. With the Ultimates, I thought this was super cool. A really cool twist on, gamma radiation. I don't know. I really dug this. I thought this was really cool. I'm enjoying the Ultimates run. And that's insane to say. If you've been here for a while, you know that like I tried to get into Hickman's relaunch of the Ultimates, but I just felt like I had to do too much homework to really get into it. But now that we're in it and we've got other writers playing in the playground, this Ultimates run is super fun. And seeing this new direction with gamma radiation in this new version of She-Hulk, I liked the explanation behind it. I liked kind of the geopolitical ramifications of it. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and the thought that came in my mind as I was reading it and after I finished reading it was, I will unfortunately will be holding DC's Ultimate line coming up, Absolute whatever, to this standard. And I know that's unfair because it's very obvious by the comics in the back that I am a Marvel head and I don't have as much history with DC Comics. So like, this will be the standard in my opinion for that Absolute run, their Ultimates line. I think Marvel is executing their Ultimate line right now flawlessly. I even say that about Peach Momoko's X-Men. I know there's a lot of people out here, I'm not saying anybody within here, but maybe that don't like it, but I think it's fantastic. And so I don't know, I had fun with this one. So it says about the sensational run. Unfortunately, it's really hard for characters to have sustained runs in modern comics. I agree with that. It's hard. It is definitely hard. I think. Yeah, no, I agree with that statement. Small time character I'm loving is Spider-Boy, and every situation I'm worried it's over. Solution is over, and who knows how long it will be till that character has his own book. The scene when they went back to the village was heavy, 100%. Like seeing like all the affected villagers, seeing the what's it called? The the villagers and like the ones that didn't get, that survived and weren't superheroes essentially. I thought was insane. Joe, Ultimates 3 is my patois. Loved how the writer did go the easy route and make the village people as heroes but in pain and suffering. Yeah, 100%. This was effective storytelling and building, world building, right? Where and placating off of what Hickman's already built. It was a good issue, man. I think I don't know where we're headed with the Ultimates, whether it's completely reestablishing it or if we're going to break it down again in another Secret Wars by either Hickman or somebody else. But I think the future is incredibly bright for the Ultimates universe in every single one of the books that are currently being written right now for the line. That's just my 2 cents. All right, jumping over to the Vengeance of Moon Knight. This felt like another. Let me preface. This was great. I loved it. And it felt like another. If there was any kind of very slight criticism, was we're still kind of like we're just getting like it was like another soft landing from Bloodhunt, which there's nothing wrong with that. But again, we're just kind of reestablishing what we're doing and what we're about to do. I think the biggest and coolest thing and the hardest thing about this issue was, Mark bending the knee to Khonshu and saying, "What do I need to do?" And it's like, "Go kill this fake Moon Knight." I'm like, God damn, right? Like that was insane. It was the most surprising, surprising. Like, I should have saw it coming, right? So like, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see the final issue of this book and then to jump into the new run. I think McKay's voice is just so strong and his storytelling is so great. I thought it was fun. So yeah, I don't have much to say about this outside of like, it felt like another issue 0. But there was nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're just, you know, Mark's back. Mark's back, and he's got some shit to clean up, right? Back to Joe. I wonder who wrote the data pages. They say they are still on the island, and guessing it's Rick Jones on. Oh yeah. I don't know. Not a single bad issue from the Ultimates comics so far. The Ultimate books bring back the early Hoxpox feeling of wanting to read everything as soon as possible. I agree with that. Joe, I think issue 7 and 8 should have been the same issue. It's a reunion issue with the Feel Goods, and now the Shroud is night. Yeah, right. No, yeah, 100%. It was kind of like getting back into the motion, reestablishing our characters, and we're getting ready for the next run. Maybe it's an issue count, right? We're just trying to get to an issue count. I don't know. All right, X Factor issue number 1. This is Hellions. This is Hellions with a TV producer on the team. That's my opinion on it. I'm gonna give it an arc, but I will say, like, outside of the brutalness at the end of the issue, it didn't really push all the buttons for me. Man, I got this hair that's just bothering me. This white hair. Anyway, it was all right. It was fine. It wasn't Jed MacKay first issue of X-Men boring. But it just felt like a Hellions book because of the disregard of characters, right? Just kind of throwing, like, we just kind of start getting rid of these guys. We gotta start killing them or heavily injuring them. So I think my general vibe on the book is like, this kind of feels like it should be a Hellions book and not an X Factor book. And I don't think that's because Havoc's in the book. The way it's written, the pacing of the book, and how we're just kind of throwing characters willy-nilly around, it felt like Hellions. So I'm gonna give it an arc, but it's kind of low on the totem pole of X books right now. So Joe, I don't blame you. I didn't pass. I passed on it. Didn't want to, but picked up X-Force instead. Yeah, I think X-Force. I think the mystery behind X-Force is a little bit more intriguing, even though we've got this like secret facility that the X Factor US. I don't know. There's a lot going on in the book, and a lot of mystery, and I think the execution of that mystery was a little off. So again, I will give it an arc, but it wasn't as strong as some of the other X books that are out right now. So yeah. All right, last book of the night is X-Men issue number 2 from MacKay and Stegman. Hold on, let's see here. Is Angel acting the same from the era of A in this issue? So I've only read one issue of that, so I don't remember. I don't know exactly how he was. So I don't know. I know that he mentions in the book that he can no longer change to Archangel. So whatever that means. I need to read the Heir of Apocalypse, though. I need to get back on it. I have not picked up issues from since then. Patty, I dug those X-Force suits. I don't know why though. No, they were pretty cool. They're still. I'm intrigued by X-Force. X Factor, not so much. I'll give it an arc, maybe. As for X-Men issue number 2, I think we finally. I say finally, we're into the second issue, but I do believe that we are. I think Stegman is starting to find his legs now, and I think that's really just because we already have a foundation of an issue 1 to find that footing. I will say that Stegman's artwork for some reason is just not doing it for me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the colorist or if it's just if the artwork just kind of feels rushed. I don't know. But I will say the storyline that we're dealing with, which is these humans who are much older, are suddenly their X gene is activating, and they can't handle it. And that's what we get in this issue, where like we think we're being attacked by aliens, but we're actually being attacked by a human who has now turned into a mutant, who has manifested their mutant powers, and they are a reality warper, and they can't handle it. That was cool. The story overall, I feel like is progressing, and I think I said that. I think both me and Nate both said that as time progresses, McKay's idea its legs will show up, and everything's gonna be okay. But as for Stegman's artwork, I don't understand it, but it just, for some reason, it doesn't look good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I just don't understand it. I don't understand why it's not working. But it's not. And I don't know if it is the colorist or if it's just his line work, but to me, maybe it's too bright. You know, with Venom, it was dark, there were a lot of shadows, there was a lot of contrast, and maybe it's just too bright of a book. I don't know. But I did like the story. I did enjoy the diving deeper into this mystery of late blooming mutants. I think is really cool. Thora, I loved X-Men 2. I love the team ups, the banter between the characters, 100%. But it's just like how Jed McKay did with the Impossible City at their home, with the Avengers home base. I can see the New Mutants as the new Danger Room. Yeah. No. I think for Jed, I think his trajectory of his story is in the right direction. I think right now, the issue with the book right now is, and the fact that this is on my bingo card, I never thought, which is, I think Ryan Stegman's artwork it's just something off with it. I don't know if it's rushed or if it's, I don't know. If I had to put my my theory to it, it's when he was doing Venom, it was so dark, like physically dark, and there were a lot of shadows, and it was always at night, and it wasn't a very bright book. It was mainly like black and white and reds, right? And that was basically it. And so I think X-Men, it's too bright. It's too bright. His shadow work isn't as deep. And then, like, I don't know, this cover's weird. Like, I don't know. I think Psylocke just doesn't like her sword. I don't like it. I don't know. There's just something off about it. So, 7, Stegman brings a wild 90s style to modern comics. I love it. It's a bright-ass book. The New Mutants Ben will create in the new Danger Room. Yeah, I don't have a problem with his style. I love, like, his style in Venom was amazing. There's something, I think there's just something off, and I truly believe it's like the shadowing, maybe. I don't know. Like, maybe it's the colorist. Maybe it's the coloring. Maybe we're just not, I don't know. There's something off, in my opinion. But if I get past that, issue 2 felt a lot stronger than issue 1. Just saying. I thought issue 2 had much, but the only reason why issue 2 is so strong is because it had issue 1, right? Like, it had the foundation of issue 1, right? So, that's why it's better. So I don't know. I'm giving it a year. So it was definitely an improvement from issue 1. I don't know what else to say. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's comic book review of August 14th's books. We'll be back at it again this Tuesday, where we'll talk about our new comic books, which next week is a little light of a week, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Where are we here? Well, the League. And then go to there. Yeah, I only got 8 books. Looking at it, I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man. Come on now. The Wolverine Revenge. I've got okay, so we got a Hickman Wolverine book, right? But remind me, guys, is this book, is the Wolverine Revenge, and we'll talk about it on new comic book day. Segment is my Peach Momoko. No, dude, there's nothing. I'll stop talking shit. I shouldn't be. Is this Wolverine's Revenge that's coming out next week? This isn't within the canon of what we're currently doing with X-Men, right? It's like a standalone thing, right? Isn't it? Kabukiyo. I'll do more research on it. We'll talk about it on New Comic Book Day. But I am looking forward to it. I'm getting the red band as well as the standard. There's gonna be some good books. So I actually only have 7 books next week, not 8, because I have a double with Wolverine. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Anyways, we'll catch you guys Tuesday with New Comic Book Day, and then we'll see you guys live again, where we'll talk about all those books and more. It'll be good. See, what manga are you read this week? I picked up my first manga, Attack on Titan. Ooh, Attack on Titan's good. It's weird as fuck, but it's good. Everyone likes to clown around when he does Wolverine. Okay. I didn't read any manga this week. I don't have another manga coming out until I think next month. I don't have it. August is kind of a slow month for me when it comes to manga. But when I get my next book, I'll definitely feature it. I know I did order. Just to give you guys a heads up, I did order the Trigun like omnibus ultimate edition collector's edition a while ago, and that should be coming in pretty soon. And I'm very stoked for that because I never read the Trigun manga. Love the cartoon though. The anime, fucking amazing. If you're looking for an anime to watch and a more retro, Adult Swimmy style, like very old school, not old school, but like early 90s, mid 90s, check out Trigun. And then there's a reboot version of it that's like even better. Well, I say even better. It's a reintroduction with better graphics and all that shit. But like the original Trigun, cannot beat it. It's right up there with me with Evangelion. Evangelion obviously is a masterpiece, but I could go on. I'm not going to. We'll catch you guys Tuesday, and then again live on Saturday. I'll obviously have an update for you with Nate. I don't know if Nate will be here for New Comic Book Day video or not, but if he is, great. If he's not, like I said, we're still working out the kinks. We're getting closer. He got a promotion a couple of weeks ago where he's going to be able to write his own schedule. So like, we will be back at some point with the boys. So let's see, Joe, what do you think of DC's trade style with DC? I don't know. I have not. I don't know. Go into more detail, Joe. Let me know in the comment once I end the stream, because I don't quite know. Yeah. Anyways, thanks again, guys. Thanks to our members, to Joe, Holden, Patty, and John. John, I don't think was here tonight, but appreciate all of you guys being members, and love that. Anyways, guys, like I said, catch you this Tuesday, and again live this Sunday. As always, fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Catch you guys later. Bye, guys. $10 for classic books. Oh, I mean, that seems badass, right? What do you think, Joe? I mean, that's kind of dope. Or is that? Oh, they're trades though, right? They're not just like small trades. I guess I like that. I don't know. I'll definitely dive into it. I think I should do a video. Should I do a video? Maybe I should do a video.